Are you awake? Yoga page. Hi everyone, good morning. It is Monday morning and it is the first of a new month, so let's take some time to get ready to do some movement. If you are already here, go ahead and lay down onto your mat. Place one arm on top of the other, let your forehead rest onto your arms. Let your body rest upon the floor and see how that feels this morning. We always start yoga in the same exact way, and we do so on purpose, because that way we have the opportunity to feel what's going on in our body and to get an idea of how our practice can serve us this morning. So again, laying down on your belly, one arm on top of the other, forehead resting onto your arms. If that's uncomfortable for you, if you have a larger nose like myself, you can place your forehead onto a blanket in whatever way works best for you. Today you'll probably want to have props around just in case you need them. And we're going to focus a little bit more on moving within a practice that brings joy. So not pushing ourselves beyond our level of comfort, not allowing the negative thoughts that oftentimes creep into our heads when they're given space to. We're going to try and breathe and find comfort and joy in our practice, in the movement, in the body, in the ability to be who we are at this present moment. So as you're laying down on your belly, one arm on top of the other, forehead resting onto your hands, go ahead and start to take some deep breaths into your belly. As you inhale, feel the belly expand, pressing against the floor, and then as you exhale, pull the belly button towards your spine. Taking your time to breathe in and out. When we take time to not be moving, to not be doing, we actually give ourselves this weird opportunity where all of the thoughts that we have been repressing or trying not to have try to flood back in. A lot of times we keep ourselves busy so we don't have to think about the things that are bothering us, right? What is it they say? Idle hands are the devil's playthings or something like that. So we keep ourselves busy and occupied. We putz around the house, we fix this, we clean this, we keep ourselves going as much as we can so that we don't have to deal with the snake in the back of our head, or the elephant in the room, or the boogeyman under our bed. And in yoga, we actually are brought into a position where we stay still. Right at the beginning of class, before you've moved, before you've stretched, before you've discussed your day with your spouse, you are on your mat, laying on the floor, and settled. And then all of the thoughts that you have been neglecting want to come into your mind. And if that's you, don't worry, that's basically everyone. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just part of the game. But you can control your thoughts. Doesn't mean you have to avoid them, but you can focus right now on just the way it feels to breathe. As you inhale, you can feel the belly pressing against the ground, feeling that expansion. And as you exhale, pulling the belly button towards the spine and releasing. Inhaling, feeling expansion. And And exhaling, feeling that contraction. What does that feel like for you? Do you feel that the breath can expand more? Do you feel like there's parts of you that aren't awake yet? Can you breathe into them? Can you breathe into the lower back, or into the glutes, or into the shoulders, or into the chest? Can you breathe all the way down and experience sensation in your right pinky toe? Can you feel the palms of your hands, the backs of your ears? And then when you're ready, go ahead and take your legs wide apart, as wide as they are going to go comfortably for you, maybe about mat distance, and then bend both your knees and windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Now, this movement isn't to escape your thought process. Again, see if you can work with your breath here. As you inhale, come to center. As you exhale, move to one direction. And just let the legs shift from side to side. And notice where you feel this. Does it feel like the quadricep muscle is rolling around under the flesh? Does it feel like you're just kind of flopping from side to side? Does it feel like you're very rigid and strong here? Even so much so that your ankles aren't even loose. Maybe you're really flexed, really pushing. Are you gnawing at your knees? Are they grounding into the floor? Is your hip bone grounding into the ground, pushing down like it's going to turn to powder? Are you holding on to a great deal of restraint right now? Are you scared of letting go? And then one more time from side to side. Bring the legs back into center, extend them. Press your hands into the floor, push into the ground, roll the hips back, draw yourself into your child's pose, letting your belly draw down between your thighs and your forehead rest towards the floor. Then from here, let's go ahead and walk our torso over to the left. Stretch through the right arm, reach as far as you can. And then walk all the way over to the right. And then all the way back into center and reach through your fingertips, pushing the hips back, finding a big stretch in your spine. And then rolling forward into hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. As you inhale, let your belly draw down. As you exhale, round your spine. Take your time here. It's easy to just get drawn into the wave, right? It's easy to just go, okay, I know that Nicole's going to go from here to the next thing, and then we're going to do this, and you're already 5 poses ahead of me, and there's no point in that, right? There's no point in just jumping ahead. Try to be as great in this one pose, even in the halfway point, as you will be in the next. Be as aware of your body as you move into them, as much as you move out of them. Take it through 1 or 2 more times. Breathing slow and steady. And then from this nice deep inhalation that you're going to take, go ahead and exhale, round your spine and roll back towards your heels. Inhale, roll forward, belly down, shoulders back, chest lifts, hips lift. Exhale, round your spine and draw back. Move through your poses. Move from one direction to the next every time. Exhaling on the way back. Inhaling on the way forward. Exhaling on the way back. Inhaling on the way forward. 2 more. Exhaling on the way back. Soften the hands if you need to. Inhaling on the way forward. Last one. Exhaling on the way back. Beautiful. Sit back towards your heels. Big stretch. And then on your next inhalation, I'm going to have you come up to kneeling. So for those of you who need to have a blanket underneath your knees, I want you to have that blanket nearby. So on your next inhalation, we're going to lean forward, bring the hands up, and reach them all the way overhead. This is your inhale. The knees are under your hips, right? We're squeezing towards midline so the top of the head can lift. And then as you exhale, bending from the hip crease, forward folding, and then drawing the arms behind you and the head to the ground. Inhaling, dragging those hands up last, reaching to the sky, big stretch. And then exhaling, taking it back, forward fold, all the way to that child's pose and down. Inhaling, reaching up, stretching to the sky, squeezing the legs towards midline. Don't just let everything go crazy here. Exhaling, taking it right back down. 3 more. Inhaling, lifting up, cores engaged because you're going to a slight back bend, and then exhaling, drawing down. 2 more. Inhaling, lifting up, squeeze those legs towards center, and exhale, folding down. Last one. Inhaling, lifting up, hold here. Exhale, reach that right arm forward, left arm back, and turn to the left. Inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, twist. Beautiful. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, child's pose, arms back. Inhale, bring it right back up again. Exhale, hands come to the hips. Lift up through the top of the head. Hips are lifted just a little bit upwards here. Cores engaged, tailbones reaching. As you exhale, lean back. I like to call this the Michael Jackson lean. And then as you inhale, roll forward. Exhale, lean back, shoulders over hips, hips over knees. Exhale, roll forward. That's the quadricep muscle that just spoke to you. Inhale, lean back, don't round, don't overarch. Exhale, come forward. Come forward with the whole strength of this torso from your knees to your torso, towards your core. Exhale, come forward. You can make your lever a little longer. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, come forward. Last one. Exhale, lean back. Exhale, take it all the way down. Hands to the floor. Hands underneath the shoulders. Step your right leg back, toes tuck. Press through that right heel. Get a big stretch in the back of the right leg. Good. So you've been off your hands for a little bit here. So keeping yourself nice and strong, not overdoing it if you don't need to. Press through your right toes. Push your right heel back. And then as you exhale, I'd like you to pull your left knee to your chest. So to do that, you're going to have to engage your core. Press through the toes. Exhale, pull the knee in. Inhale, take that left knee right back down. Exhale, pull the knee in. Inhale, left knee right back down. 3 more. Exhale, pull the knee in. Inhale, left knee right back down. 2 more. Exhale, pull the knee in. Inhale, knee right back down. Last one. Exhale, pull the knee in. Inhale, left knee comes down. Exhale, right knee forward. Come back into child's pose, roll the hands back. Back into hands and knees, hands under the shoulders. Extend your left leg back, toes tucked, push through your heels. Engage the arms, don't just push the elbows forward, right? Roll the shoulders down. On your next exhalation, we're gonna take this right knee towards our chest. So on your exhale, core is engaged, pull in. Inhale, take it right back down. Exhale, core engaged, pull in. Inhale, take it right back down. Exhale, core engaged, pull in. Inhale, take it right back down. Exhale, core engaged. Inhale, down we go. Last one. Exhale, core engaged. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, left knee. And roll back, child's pose. Release your wrists. For those of you who have tight wrists, wiggle your hands. Inhale into hands and knees, hands under shoulders, knees underneath of the hips. Taking a moment, inhale again, or exhale, round your spine. Inhale, let the belly draw down. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, belly draws down. Focus on the breath, moving through, doing good. Inhale, exhale, bring your spine to a neutral position, hands stay underneath of your shoulders. Toes are going to tuck. We're going to hover the knees off the ground. So squeezing through the arms, not just letting the elbows over straight and turning them outwards. Engaging those arms, keeping the shoulders down. Exhale, hover the knees. Good. Just hold here. Breathe deep. Engage your core. Stay focused on your breath. Keep breathing though. Okay, we're going to shift the hips back towards the heels as if we're going to jump forward in a great height. So as if we're like a puma landing on an animal. And then from this position, we're going to straighten those legs and come to a down dog. So very slowly, press your hips back as you start to reach the hips up to the sky, lift your heels. Take your feet hip distance apart, shake out your head, roll your shoulders away from your ears, really reach, really breathe. And then from here, go ahead and walk your dog. So bend one knee, lower the opposite heel to the mat, and switch. Shake out your head, soften your neck and your jaw. If you need a break on your hands, you can always take your elbows to the floor and take a dolphin instead. Feel what's going on in the back half of your body. Beautiful. Look between your hands. And let's start to just keep that walking sensation, but we're going to walk the feet forward. One knee bends, then the other heel's down. One knee bends, then the other heel's down. All the way forward until you get to the very front of your mat. You can have your blocks in your body for those of you who need them. Feet are hip distance apart. That is 2 fists together apart. And then from this position, go ahead and bend your knees. Your head's been down for a little bit, so I want you to take your time as you come up. Press through your feet and start to slowly roll yourself up. Keep the eyes open. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the top of the head. And really find some height in the body. See if you can feel a lift from the base of your body all the way up to the top of the head, all the way through the center of the head. And then at the same time, see if you can feel this grounding through the center piece of you, pulling into the earth. I like to think of yourself as like this kind of grounding rod, or this combination of heaven and the earth. You're pulling everything together, a divining rod almost. Bring your arms up and overhead. Reach towards the heavens as you draw the shoulders down towards the earth. And then as you exhale, bend your knees a little bit. And again, forward fold, taking that body down into a nice, strong, relaxing forward fold. Get out of your head. Don't tell yourself that you need this to look perfect. You do not. I don't know what you do for a living. You might be running or riding a bike 700 miles a week. Maybe not running, but maybe riding a bike. And if you are that type of person, your hamstrings are going to be so tight, right? Your glutes are going to be rock hard, but super tight. So keep that in mind and don't try to just stretch everything straight and lose the posture in your back. Give yourself an opportunity to feel a stretch in your whole back body, not just the back of your legs, but the back of your spine, the back of your neck, the back of your head. And then from here, take your blocks to the smallest height if you are using them. Place your hands onto the blocks if you are using them, and step your right foot back as far back as you can, keeping the toes tucked, and then shifting that left knee over your ankle. I know nobody expected a lunge, right? Hips are level, left knee's facing forward, shoulder blades are drawing back, and for some of us, if we're not on blocks, we might be on our fingertips. We don't want to use all of the weight in our hands, right? We want to keep the shoulders drawing away from the ears, pressing back through that right heel. Lower that right knee straight down to the ground. Untuck your toes. Let the hips keep shifting forward and engage your belly, and if you can, pull up through your pelvic floor, so lifting that space. And then placing the hands onto the left thigh, reach the arms up. Good. So remember, you're looking for joy of the movement, joy of the practice here. Exhale, bring the body forward over that left thigh, reach the arms back. And then inhale, reach the arms forward into the sky, come into that slight back bend. Exhale, reach the arms forward, reaching back. Inhale, come all the way back up. Good. Exhale, reaching forward and back. Inhaling, coming all the way back up. 2 more. So the magic number is 5 today. Exhale. Inhale up. Last one. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, hands come to the blocks or the floor. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Exhale and step your right foot forward. Inhale as you come all the way up, carrying the body slow. Reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Take it all the way down. Inhale, step the left leg back. Find a big giant step. Right knee over your ankle. Push back through your left heel. Hold here first, getting that nice stretch in the back of the left leg. You know what's coming, so let's lower that left knee down to the ground. Untuck the toes. Let the hips continue to shift forward as the hands come to the front thigh. Reach the arms overhead. Awesome. See if you can squeeze towards midline here. And then when you're ready, exhale, lean forward and back. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, lean forward and back. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, leaning forward, arms go back. Inhale, reach up. 2 more. Exhale, forward and back. Inhale. Last one. Exhale, forward and back. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down to the blocks. Tuck your back toes. Inhale as you lift. This time as you exhale, step back into plank. Beautiful. Hold your plank here, push back through your heels. You can be on your elbows if you prefer. Keep breathing. Happy with the plank space. Then on your next exhalation, lower just the knees to the ground. On your inhale, lift the knees back up. Exhale, knees come to the ground. Inhale, right back up. Exhale, knees come to the ground. Inhale, keep the core in line. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, 1 more. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, this time, exhale, knees down, hold. Bend your elbows back towards your ribs. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, down dog. We've been here before. You can keep your hands on blocks here. That's up to you. Or for some people, it's a little less comfortable. So maybe taking your hands off the blocks. You can once again walk out your dog. Shake out your head. Let your chest come a little closer to your thighs. Lift the heels as high as you can. Reach the chest closer to your thighs. And then lower the heels a little closer towards the floor if that's happening for you today. See if your heels are rolling in to do this. Try and keep your heels directly behind your toes. I know it's hard, but just give it a try. Awesome. We're going to step this right foot forward in between our hands. You can lift the right leg and sweep it forward right on in between. If that's not working for you, grab hold of that right leg and carry it forward. You're going to come right into a high lunge, arms come up. We're going to open into warrior two. We're going to spin that left heel down to the floor, right heel in line with the left instep, arms come out to the side. So we know warrior two, we're a fan. Take the right forearm to the inside, or the right hand, knuckles to the inside of the right knee. Let the hand press the knee back just a little bit, so that if you looked out your knee, you can see your big toe, maybe your first toe. Reach that left arm straight from your left shoulder, and then start to slide that right forearm to the inside of the right knee. Slide down a little more. Move the right hip away from the armpit. Hold here. Keep breathing. Stay with it. You're doing great. You can place a block under your hand if you want. Last breath. Slide back up so that your knuckles are on the inside of the knee. Reach that right arm out to the side. Stretch your right leg straight. Take your left hand to the back leg, reach your right arm up, engage your right thigh. And then exhale and take it into triangle pose. Reaching through that right arm, bringing the hand down. Left arm comes up. Engaging the thigh. Maybe you're one of the many lucky people who have blocks available that would like to use a block here. I'm going to, just because my hamstrings are tight. Engaging the core. Keep breathing. Stay strong, but breathful. Don't think about what you have to do today. You have permission to just be right here, looking for the joy of a triangle posture. Feeling the strength of the whole body in every phase of this pose, not just in it, but coming out of it as well. Go ahead and look down at that right hand. Bend your right knee just a little bit. Take your left hand to the floor. You might need a block, right? Take your right hand to an even space on the floor as well. So if you're on a block with one hand, you're going to be on a block with both hands. We're going to lift the back heel and spin onto the toes. Again, right knee's just a little bit. Lift the back heel. Press through that left heel as you start to straighten your right leg. So for some people, you're going to be a little bit too crouched here, and I want you to go ahead and just have that nice extended spine, right? So you might even be higher, you might even be lifted a little more. Some people, that's where we're at, and it's okay, that's where we should be. But for other people, you might need no blocks. You might just be happy where you are, as long as you're not rounding to get into it, okay guys? I don't want you to round, I want you to lift. Hold on to it, that's why the left heel is not down. Makes it a little easier. Awesome. So wherever you are, you're going to keep this left hand either on a block, which I'm going to choose, or on the floor. You're going to keep that left heel up, and we're going to reach the right arm up and keep the right leg straight. Push through your right big toe. You might feel a stretch on the outside of the right calf. Keep your left heel facing up. Awesome, one more breath. Spin through the chest. And then exhale, carry that right hand all the way down. Bend your right knee. Spin your left heel to the floor again. Blocks might need to come with you for this. And then start to come into warrior two. Were you holding your breath there? Can we get back into it? One more breath. Awesome. Let's take it to the other side. Straighten your right leg. Turn both feet to face forward for a moment. Let's do a wide leg forward fold just to release what's going on one side of the body. So as you come forward, bend your knees a little bit. Drift down. Shift that weight forward towards the balls of the feet. And then from here, we're gonna come right back up, but before you do so, maybe place those blocks behind your left ankle and in front of your left foot, just in case you need them, right? Bend your knees a little bit, hands to the hip bones, and upsy daisy. Perfect. Turn your left foot out. We're gonna go ahead and reach forward through the fingertips, or out through the left hand, out through the right hand. Bend your left knee. We're coming into it a little differently than we did on the other side. So here we are. We're in a beautiful warrior two posture. Maybe you don't feel super happy here, that's okay. Knuckles to the inside of the knee, right? So we're looking for this shoulder to wrist diagonal movement, right? We're just reaching down. We're pushing that knee back just a little bit to help open up the inner thigh, the inner knee. Maybe we can see our first toe, maybe it's just our big toe. We're gonna stay here for a breath more. And then we're gonna slide down through that forearm. So now our elbow and forearm are in line, or elbow and knee are in line, and our forearm's in line with our shin. And we're just reaching the right arm up as the left arm reaches down. You might want to block underneath your hand. You might not want to touch the floor at all and just use your core here. Hold on to it. Keep that tension between the elbow and the knee without really pushing that elbow, but just keeping almost like it's a wall there, protecting it. One more breath. Beautiful. Let's come up slow. Inner hand first. Arms out. Straighten that left leg. Take that right hand back and behind you. Reach up, reach up. Engage your left thigh. And let's take it through triangle. Same area of movement. Left hand comes down. Right arm comes up. Breath is slow. Maybe you choose to use a block today, maybe not. Left hip moves away from the armpit. Core stays engaged. Not really using as much of the hand as we are engaged through the whole body. Finding that breath. And you're doing beautifully, by the way. You really are. Stay with the joy of the movement, the joy of the principle of the body. Wonderful. Look down at that left hand. Bend your left knee ever so slightly. Very, very little bend here. Right hand comes down. Depending on whether or not you're using blocks, you'll use blocks under both hands or under none. And then from here, we're going to spin onto the right toes and straighten that left leg. Again, we want length through the top of the head. Shoulders back, spine long, right heel lifted, big toe of the left foot onto the floor. Hips level, both hips facing the same direction here. Core engaged, tailbone lengthening away from the head. Pelvic floor lifting up, looking for space in the back of both legs. Right hand comes down to the earth. And maybe the left arm comes up to the sky. Don't spin that right heel, keep it up. Right shoulder down. Strong, deep breath rotating through the navel. Move that right hip forward. 3 more breaths. 2. 1. Lower your left hand down to the floor. Bend your left knee strongly. Keep the right toes where they are. Reach your arms to the sky. Come through high lunge. both your legs, turn both feet to face forward. Hands to the hip bones, core stays engaged, spine is long, wide leg, forward fold. All the way down. This time maybe the hands come right between your toes or right between your feet. Maybe the hands come to blocks. Both feet are lined up here. Maybe you decide you're doing a headstand from here, or a crow, or a jump back, trolley jump, squat, something, something, something. I don't know, whatever things people like to do here. That's up to you. Find some play here, find some beauty in this practice, find some joy. And for those of you who are just in the static hold, if that feels good for you, stay there. But if you'd like to go ahead and just bend one knee and stretch the outsides of the legs, go for it. Doing that nice side lunge or stalking like a puma. Getting that nice stretch in the outer ankles as well. We need it, especially if you find yourself on your feet a lot. If you're a nurse or a waitress or working at a grocery store, doing that frontline work. Maybe you're just a mama chasing some toddlers around all the time. All right, so wherever you are, if you're upside down, come down. If you are in your static hold, kind of go ahead and start to make this nice rhythm. So you're bending one knee and lowering the other. Even if you're coming out of whatever you are, just keep that rhythm going. Good. Give yourself some time. And then on this next time that you move to the right, which will be towards the front of your mat, I want you to go ahead and just walk your hands that direction. Bend your right knee a little more, rotate the right ankle, turn the toes out, press through your left heel, and then come back into a down dog. Big stretch here. Big deep breaths. Maybe a child's pose if you're really feeling like you need it. And that's absolutely okay. Look for your practice to bring you joy today, to bring you light, to relieve the tension of the world, at least just for a moment within yourself. Remember that by doing the work for ourselves, we do the work for the whole planet, for everything around us. We are just one thread of this beautiful tapestry. Awesome. We're going to lift the left leg up. So the right heel's going to come up as well to give you a little more space. Left leg's going to come to the sky. Hold here for a moment. Notice how that left hip wants to open. I'd like you to try and keep that left hip as level as possible. It's going to feel different on that right leg. And then as you exhale, let's pull that left knee into our chest and hover above the mat. Inhale, left leg comes back, but we keep it level, we don't open. And then exhale, pull it in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull it in. We have two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull it in. One more. Lift. Exhale, pull it in. Lower that knee down and take a pigeon pose. Walk the right foot back. Lower that right knee back to the floor. Start to rock from side to side. Yes, rock from side to side. I suggest this because we mostly have a tendency to lean to the left here in this position. The body wants to kind of roll out. Body's always trying to do the easier thing, right? And then some of us have a tendency to overextend to the right. So we want to find center. And center's a little harder to find, right? So pulling up through the pelvic floor, pulling the belly button to the spine, lifting through the center of the chest, finding our pigeon. You can use blocks here. Actually, a lot of times it's nice to use a block or two. You can have your hands on the blocks to help keep an upright pose here. And you can engage the core as you roll your shoulder blades back, moving your right hip forward and left hip level. Moving so that the shoulders are level, the chest is level, the hips are level. The left shin can be parallel to the small side of your mat, or it could be that the left foot is towards your right hip. So whatever feels best for your leg today and your hips. You can come down to your elbows, and you can do this with blocks, and that might help you to keep from over-rounding here, but instead keeping that nice strong line from the top centerpiece of your head down to your tailbone. Imagine that you're lengthening these two places apart, hugging the elbows back just a little bit. And if you're on the floor, you can do the same thing. Staying here, getting into the hips, getting into the pelvis, getting into those base chakras. And for those of you who are like, I don't do chakras, Cole, that's okay, just ignore what I just said, you just get into your hips. But getting into that base root of who we are, right? That animal tendency, how we experience ourselves, how we experience ourselves through others, how we experience our environment. Some deep stuff happening down there today, and yesterday, and the day before that, every day for the past couple months. Right? Our home, this is our home, that lower abdomen, that pelvic area, that tailbone, that base, that's our home. It's who we are. Our home of who we are, or who we are in our home. Take 1 or 2 more breaths just like this. I know it's a long time to be in pigeon, but some of you swear on all that's holy that you love pigeon more than anything in life, so this is for you. And then some of you are like, I hate pigeon more than anything you could ever know, and in this case, this is for you as well. Take your elbows a little lower if you feel like you've just given yourself a little more space to work. Remember that I've shown you in previous videos how to modify this with blankets, with blocks, maybe doing this on your back and just doing a thread the needle is your best bet. So let's do 1 more breath here. Hopefully you can wiggle your left toes a little bit so they don't go a little numb. And then last breath, we're gonna just take it down as low as we can. Some of you probably already dropped down. I get it, it's fun. But don't roll to your left buttock. Keep your hips level. Yeah, still make it a thing. Imagine you have a toddler sitting on your hips. A very still, steady toddler who doesn't jump. All right, so we're gonna come up. Hands come to the floor. Press into the ground. Tuck your back toes. We have to get out of this now. So pressing through the hands, pull the belly button to the spine, lift your right knee up, lift your left knee up. Carry that left leg back to the sky, stretch it out. Oh, and then bring that left foot down. Walk out your dog. That left leg's gonna feel different than the other, and that's okay, because your right leg's gonna feel different than the left, and that's okay too. Different's okay. It's not better, it's not worse, it's just different. Different is different. Different is exciting. Go ahead and lift your right leg to the sky, lift your left heel. We know what's coming, it's 5 of these. Exhale, pull your right knee into your chest. Inhale, send that right leg back. Exhale, right knee into your chest. Inhale, send that right leg back. Don't open your hips. Exhale, right knee into the chest. Inhale, send that right leg back. 2 more. Exhale, right knee into the chest. Inhale, send that right leg back. Last one. Exhale, hold. Ready? Right knee comes down. Left knee comes down. And as we all have heard me say, probably more times than you want to, I have a bad right knee, so I am modifying this one. That means I'm putting a blanket under my right buttock. It does not mean that I won't feel this pose. It just means that my right knee won't feel this pose. And that's important to me. All right, so rock from side to side, everyone. You can use blocks under your hands here just to start. Remember, we always end up kind of coming lower anyway. When you're rocking from side to side, don't rock so far that you feel this in your knees, right? So if you're like me and you got a bad knee, which I never ever thought I'd hear myself say, but if you're like me, you got a bad knee, then you feel this pretty regularly. So be careful. One more time. Awesome. Let's level up. So your left hips are level with your right hip. You might need to squeeze that left leg back a little further. And we're upright here for the first part, right? So we are exploring the back bend. That means the core has to stay engaged, and there is a bend in our back. The chest is lifting up. We find space in the front of the body, and we find awareness in the back of the body. That's what back bends do. So back bends create space in the front of the body, but you become very aware of your back body when you're in a back bend. Let's take those elbows down. For those of you who are like, I'm taking the elbows down. Giving that nice long spine. I'd like you to stay on elbows for a little bit, but if you want to come all the way down to your belly, I understand. See if you can resist the urge here to just take this into a sleepy pose. Roll the elbows back, find a little bit more strength, a little structure. See how this one feels compared to the other, and this is the same thing, right? We're still dealing with the same areas, just a different direction. Keep breathing. See if, even if you're not a huge fan of this pose, see if you can find a little bit of joy in it. Sometimes the poses we hate the most are the ones that we need the most, which is awful, right? Wouldn't it be great if it was the other way around? Wouldn't it be great if it was like, the pose I love the most is the one that I need to do all the time, or the pose that I'm really good at would be the pose I do all the time. I really like warrior too. I feel like I can hold that for a long time, but I mean, it's a great pose and a lot of people need it, and I need it as well, but I despise eagle pose and I should be doing that every day. So open here, just keep breathing, just keep thinking deep into the core of your body, deep into the quiet spaces, the difficulties. See if you're starting to lean to the right, and if you are, readjust. See if your ears are into your shoulders, and if they are, draw them back. Wiggle your toes every once in a while. Okay, I'm going to take the body straight to the earth here. So, if you're feeling so inclined, go ahead and do so. But if not, I understand. Take it where you need to be. Let your breath get really deep. Make sure your hips are level. See if you can soften your throat, your jaw. Let's take 1 or 2 more breaths just like this. Wherever you are is fine. And then on your next exhale, tuck your toes, brush your hands into the floor. Here we go. Lift that left knee, push into those hands, reach back through that right leg. Whew. And then take that right foot down. Walk out your dog. And then from here, let's go ahead and shift that weight forward towards the hands as we bend the knees and draw those knees to the floor. Pull the core in and draw back into a child's pose. And then we'll roll forward into hands and knees. We're going to do a thread at the needle, so the right arm's going to come underneath the left, drawing that right shoulder to the floor and right cheek. Pressing into that left hand. And then we'll switch, take that right hand to the floor and twist through the left. Press through your right hand. And then pressing through that right hand. Come back into hands and knees. Give yourself just one cat-cow. And then bringing your spine to a neutral position as you transition into a cross-leg position. Before we come into Shavasana, we're going to do a seated twist. So the left hand's going to come to the left knee. That's right, same hand, same knee. And then we're going to take that right hand behind us and we're going to twist. Take a couple deep breaths here. And switch. Right hand to the right knee, left hand behind us. Come back into center again. Lean back just a bit so you're on your hands. Place the feet about mat distance apart. And we're going to windshield wiper the knees from side to side. You might notice that one buttock comes off the ground on your way. Both knees to one direction, knees through center, knees to the other direction, knees through center. Keeping a slight engagement in your core. Just shifting the knees from side to side. One more on each side. And then coming right back into center. You can place that blanket under your head if you'd like. Roll onto your back. Let your head rest right onto that blanket. Pull your knees into your chest. Roll your head from side to side. Come back into center, and then extend both of your legs up into the sky, and wiggle your toes, and flex and point your feet. Maybe make circles in one direction and then the other. Isn't it cool that you don't even have to say feet make circles? They just make circles as soon as you start thinking about it. Isn't it cool to have feet? To have toes? To have the ability to move them? One more time. As one of my favorite people says, ain't it great to have feet? Be grateful for your feet. Thankful for your feet. Bring the hands behind the thighs. Start to draw your knees towards your chest. If you'd like to take another twist here, you can do your nice double knee twist. But if you would rather, try just bringing yourself right on into Shavasana. We're going to be here for a little bit, so if you'd like to do another twist, go for it. But I really do encourage you to at least find some time that you're laying onto the floor. I know it can feel like it's more, you're accomplishing more if you just keep doing for this whole hour. But I guarantee you not. I guarantee you'll get more if you allow yourself to rest. As you're laying on the ground, close your eyes. Relax your breath. Soften your inhalation and your exhalation. Give yourself some time back to a time that you were able to do something that truly brought you happiness. Real, true happiness. Maybe it was the first time you were able to put a down payment on a car or a house. Maybe it was your first steps after a surgery. Maybe it was holding your child for the first time, or the first kiss you gave to a loved one. Maybe it was the feeling of a parent, their hand on your shoulder. Maybe it was the first paycheck you ever brought in. That moment you were released from captivity. The time you aced your first test, saved that first life. Made that big decision that changed everything. Think of how happy you were. And maybe since then there's been a million more experiences just like that. You've done many car payments, many house payments, you kissed your partner millions of times. Your parents have always placed their hand on your shoulder. You have had more children. You know, you ran another marathon. Maybe each of those times, they weren't as much of a rush as that first one. Because we just kind of kept amassing all these experiences. Think back to those moments that you were truly happy and what it took to get you there. Because I'm pretty sure that we all have experiences of pure bliss. But to get there, there was some journey. To be born, there was a level of discomfort. To buy our car, we had to work. To give birth, we had to find the right person. Or maybe it was the wrong person, but the right person for this. For women, you had to experience that happening. For men, you had to watch or see the transformation of the woman. There was a journey to that happy space. There's a lot going on right now, and it can feel bleak, and it can feel dark. Maybe personally for you, maybe outside's getting scarier, whatever it is. But just know that through that darkness, there comes light. Through the scary changes, becomes a beautiful scenario. Without the mud, there is no lotus. When you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Roll to your right side and press your left hand into the floor, being reborn into a brand new day. Bring the hands together in front of your heart. Go well into this day. Attempt to see it with all the joy that you can. Use all of your compassion, for there are many people suffering, including yourself. And we must show the path. Bring the head towards the fingertips. Bow down to the teachers before you and the teachers who will come after you and the teacher that you can be. I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful for you. Be safe, be well, and namaste.